Every day, millions of seniors step into the shower without a second thought. It feels refreshing, comforting, even healing. But what if I told you that the way you shower, especially at night, could quietly be raising your risk of a stroke? As a brain doctor, I've seen patients come in with sudden strokes, and often the trigger wasn't what you'd expect. It wasn't always smoking, or poor diet, or genetics. Sometimes, it was something as ordinary as their shower routine. And when I discovered the science behind it, I was shocked. Now, I don't say this to scare you. I say it to empower you, because the truth is, strokes are one of the leading causes of disability in older adults, and yet so many are preventable if we know the hidden risks. In today's video, I'm going to reveal the specific shower habit that puts seniors at higher risk overnight. I'll explain what happens inside your brain and blood vessels when you turn that faucet, and I'll show you how a few small changes in your routine could protect your brain, your independence, and even your life. And if you're over 60 or care for someone who is, you need to hear this. Because knowledge is power, and in this case, knowledge could be protection. We'll cover why seniors are more vulnerable, what this shower habit does to the brain, safer ways to enjoy your showers, and the most important signs to watch out for so you can get help in time. By the end, you'll feel confident knowing how to take control of your daily routine without fear. So before you step into your next shower, watch this video to the end. It just might change the way you care for your brain, forever. Before we dive into the shower habit itself, it's important to understand why strokes are such a concern, especially as we age. When you know what's happening inside the body, it makes the risks and the solutions much clearer. Think of your brain like the control center of your entire body. It needs a constant, steady supply of blood carrying oxygen and nutrients. A stroke happens when that blood supply is suddenly interrupted, either because a blood vessel gets blocked or because it bursts. When the brain doesn't get blood, even for just a few minutes, brain cells start to die. That's why strokes can cause such serious problems: paralysis, memory loss, speech difficulties, or even death. Now here's what may surprise you. After age 55, your risk of stroke doubles with every decade. In fact, about 3 out of 4 strokes happen in people over 65. And while medical advances mean more people survive strokes today than in the past, the effects can still be life-changing. For many seniors, one major stroke can mean losing independence, needing full-time care, or no longer being able to do the things they love. So why are older adults more at risk? There are a few key reasons. Blood vessel changes. As we age, our arteries naturally become stiffer. They don't expand and contract as easily, which makes sudden changes in blood pressure more dangerous. Underlying health conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and heart disease are more common after 60, and all of these raise stroke risk. Slower recovery systems. The body's ability to repair damaged cells and maintain healthy circulation weakens over time. This means a sudden shock, even something as simple as a rapid temperature change, can hit the elderly harder than the young. Medication interactions. Many seniors are on blood pressure medications, blood thinners, or diabetes drugs. These can make blood pressure shifts more unpredictable. Here's the key takeaway. At age 60 and beyond, your brain and blood vessels are more fragile. That doesn't mean you should live in fear. It means you need to be smart about daily habits, and that's where the shower comes in. For younger people, a hot or cold shower may just feel refreshing. But for seniors, the sudden changes in blood pressure during a shower can create the perfect storm for a stroke. That's why understanding your shower routine isn't just about comfort, it's about protecting your brain. In the next part, I'll reveal the exact shower habit that's most dangerous, and why it has such a powerful effect on your blood vessels. Now that we understand why strokes are more common in seniors, let's talk about the daily routine that shocked even me when I first studied it. It's something millions of people do without a second thought, and that's how you shower. More specifically, the habit of taking very hot or very cold showers, especially suddenly, and especially at night, can raise your risk of a stroke overnight. Let's start with hot showers. Many people, especially seniors, enjoy a steaming hot shower before bed. It feels soothing on the muscles and relaxing after a long day. But here's the problem. When you step into very hot water, your blood vessels immediately expand. This is called vasodilation. Your blood pressure drops suddenly, and your heart has to work harder to pump enough blood to your brain. For a healthy young person, that drop might cause nothing more than a lightheaded feeling. But for someone over 60, with stiffer arteries or high blood pressure, that sudden drop can mean the brain isn't getting enough oxygen-rich blood. That's a setup for fainting, or worse, a stroke. Now let's look at the opposite end: cold showers. Some people use them for shock therapy or to wake up in the morning. When your body hits cold water, the opposite happens. Your blood vessels constrict suddenly. This makes your blood pressure spike, sometimes dramatically. For a senior with already fragile arteries, this sudden spike in pressure can be like putting too much air into an old tire. It increases the risk of a vessel in the brain bursting, what we call a hemorrhagic stroke. That's why I always caution my older patients: what feels invigorating to someone in their 30s can be life-threatening in your 60s or 70s. You might be wondering, why does this risk increase at night? Here's why. At night, your body is winding down. Your heart rate and blood pressure are naturally lower as your body prepares for sleep. A sudden hot or cold shock disrupts this calm state, forcing your cardiovascular system to react quickly. For a senior, this rapid shift is like forcing a car to go from 0 to full speed without warming up the engine. This is why so many strokes and cardiac events are reported either early in the morning or late at night, when the body is least prepared to handle sudden changes. Now let's be practical. What are the actual mistakes that make showering risky? Jumping into very hot water right away. Instead of starting with lukewarm and adjusting, many people turn the water up to maximum heat immediately. Cold shock therapy at night. Trying out the cold plunges trend, but doing it before bed or when the body is tired, switching from hot to cold rapidly. This contrast showers method is popular, but for seniors it creates rapid swings in blood pressure. Showering in a poorly ventilated, overheated bathroom. The steam can make blood pressure drop even faster, especially if you're already dehydrated. Taking long showers right after a big meal or alcohol. Both digestion and alcohol already affect blood pressure. Adding a hot shower on top can multiply the effect. I'll share a quick story. A 68-year-old gentleman I once treated had a stroke one evening. He had taken his usual very hot shower right before bed. His blood pressure dropped sharply, and he fainted. By the time his family found him, he had already suffered significant brain damage. The sad part? He thought he was doing something healthy and relaxing. If only he had known that such an extreme temperature could push his brain beyond its limits, his outcome might have been very different. Stories like this are exactly why I share these warnings. Not to frighten you, but to give you the chance to protect yourself before it's too late. So let's be clear. I'm not saying you should stop showering, or that hot or cold water is always dangerous. The risk comes from sudden extreme changes in temperature, especially in older adults, and especially at night. This is the shower habit that can quietly raise your stroke risk. But the good news is, with a few adjustments, you can make showering safe, comfortable, and even beneficial for your circulation, without putting your brain in harm's way. In the next part, we'll go deeper into the science, exactly how these temperature changes affect your blood pressure and brain circulation. Once you see the mechanics behind it, you'll understand why I, as a brain doctor, was so shocked by this seemingly harmless daily habit. Now let's pull back the curtain and look at the actual science. Why does stepping into a hot or cold shower affect the brain so powerfully? And why is it so much riskier as we age? When you step into hot water, your blood vessels widen. Doctors call this vasodilation. It allows more blood to flow, which is why hot showers make you feel relaxed. But here's the downside. As your blood vessels expand, your blood pressure drops. On the other hand, when you step into very cold water, the opposite happens. Your blood vessels tighten or constrict. This is the body's way of holding heat in, but that constriction makes your blood pressure shoot up. For younger people, the body can usually compensate, but in seniors, where arteries are stiffer and the heart may already be under strain, those swings can be dangerous. The brain is incredibly sensitive to changes in blood flow. Even a brief interruption, a few seconds, can cause dizziness or blurred vision. Here's the critical point. If blood pressure drops too low in the shower, the brain doesn't get enough oxygen. That's when fainting or an ischemic stroke, a blockage, can occur. If blood pressure spikes too high, fragile arteries in the brain may rupture, leading to a hemorrhagic stroke. So whether the water is too hot or too cold, the risk is in the sudden shift. Another piece of the puzzle is the autonomic nervous system. the part of your body that controls things you don't think about, like breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. When you plunge into cold water, your body goes into fight or flight mode, your heart races, your blood pressure climbs, and your vessels tighten. When you enter hot water, your body does the opposite. It tries to cool itself down, your vessels widen, and your blood pressure falls. These are normal survival responses, but in older adults with pre-existing conditions, the swings are harder to regulate, and that's where the danger lies. So why can a 30-year-old jump in and out of a cold shower with little problem, while a 70-year-old might faint or even suffer a stroke? The difference lies in vascular elasticity. Younger arteries are flexible, they expand and contract like rubber bands. Older arteries are stiffer, more like old garden hoses that crack under pressure. When a sudden temperature change forces those stiff vessels to stretch or tighten quickly, they can't keep up. The result? Dangerous blood pressure fluctuations that the brain pays the price for. Remember how we mentioned nighttime showers being riskier? Here's why. At night, your body's circadian rhythm naturally lowers your blood pressure to help you rest. If you suddenly shock the system with hot or cold water, the body has to swing from low blood pressure to high pressure in seconds. For seniors, this is when dizziness, fainting, or even stroke is most likely to happen. It's not just the water, it's the timing, combined with how the aging body handles stress. Think of it like this: your blood vessels are highways, and your blood is the traffic. A hot shower suddenly widens all the roads, traffic slows down, and cars can't get to the brain fast enough. A cold shower suddenly narrows the roads, traffic jams up and pressure builds. In both cases, accidents can happen. And for seniors, the highways aren't as strong or flexible as they used to be, so those accidents are more likely to cause real damage. So now you can see the science, how hot and cold showers directly affect circulation and brain health. But here's the good news: you don't have to give up your showers to stay safe. In the next section, I'll share practical tips on how to shower in a way that protects your brain while still keeping you comfortable. Now that you understand the science and the risks, let's focus on what really matters: how to make your showers safe and enjoyable. Because the goal is not to create fear. The goal is to help you protect your brain, your circulation, and your independence with a few smart adjustments. First and foremost, avoid extremes. That means skipping the boiling hot showers and the ice-cold plunges. Lukewarm or mildly warm water is your safest option. Here's why: lukewarm water is gentle on your blood vessels. It doesn't cause a dramatic drop in pressure like hot water, and it doesn't create a dangerous spike like cold water. Instead, it keeps your circulation steady, which is exactly what your brain needs. A good rule of thumb: if your skin turns bright red quickly, the water is too hot. If you're shivering and gasping for air, it's too cold. Aim for comfort, not extreme. One of the most important tips: ease into the water gradually. Start with lukewarm water on your feet and legs. Slowly move upward to your arms and torso. Only after your body has adjusted should you wash your head and neck. This gradual approach allows your blood vessels to adapt little by little, instead of forcing a sudden shock to your circulation. Consider when you shower. For seniors, early evening or daytime showers are safer than late-night showers. Why? At night, your blood pressure is naturally lower. A sudden hot or cold shower forces your system to swing rapidly, which increases risk. By showering a few hours before bed, you still feel relaxed, but you reduce the pressure swings that happen when your body is winding down for sleep. The bathroom itself plays a role. Here are some practical adjustments. Keep the room well ventilated. Too much steam can lower blood pressure further. Avoid overheated bathrooms. If the air outside the shower is too warm, the combination of heat and steam can make you lightheaded. Use non-slip mats and grab bars. If you do get dizzy, these safety tools can prevent a fall, which is often as dangerous as the stroke risk itself. Pay close attention to your body's signals. If you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak, sit down immediately or step out carefully. Don't ignore warning signs like sudden headache, blurred vision, or ringing in your ears. These are your body's way of saying your circulation is struggling. Remember, prevention is about awareness, not about eliminating showers from your life. Another key point: avoid showering right after meals or alcohol. After eating, blood is already diverted to your stomach for digestion, so adding a hot shower can cause your blood pressure to plummet. After alcohol, your blood vessels are already dilated, and the effect of hot water can multiply the risk of fainting or stroke. Give your body at least an hour or two to settle before showering in these situations. Here's a tip many seniors overlook: stay hydrated. Dehydration makes blood pressure more unstable. A simple glass of water before your shower can actually reduce the risk of dizziness. Also, avoid rushing. Let the water run and adjust the temperature before you step in. That small patience can prevent a dangerous shock. Now, some of you may have heard of cold showers or cold plunges being healthy. And yes, research shows they can boost circulation and reduce inflammation, but that's for people with strong, healthy vascular systems. For seniors, I recommend avoiding cold plunges unless cleared by a doctor and never doing them at night. If you enjoy cooler water, make the change gradually and stop if you feel discomfort. So what does a safe shower look like for seniors? Choose a comfortable lukewarm temperature. Enter the water gradually, starting from your feet upward. Shower in the early evening or daytime when your body is more stable. Keep your bathroom ventilated and equipped with safety supports. Stay hydrated and avoid combining showers with meals or alcohol. These simple steps transform your shower from a hidden risk into a safe, refreshing daily habit. Of course, showering safely is just one part of protecting your brain and preventing strokes. In the next section, we'll look at other lifestyle habits from food to exercise that work hand in hand with safe showering to keep your brain strong and healthy. Now, while safe showering is important, it's only one piece of the puzzle. Stroke prevention is about protecting your brain through daily habits. The good news is, many of these habits are simple, enjoyable, and within your control. Let's go through the most important ones. First and foremost, keep an eye on your blood pressure. High blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for strokes, and it's often called the silent killer because it causes no symptoms until damage is done. If you don't already have one, consider a home blood pressure monitor. Check it regularly, at the same time each day. Work with your doctor to know your target range and to adjust medications if needed. Even small improvements, like lowering your systolic pressure by just 10 points, can cut your stroke risk significantly. What you eat plays a huge role in protecting your brain. Think of food as medicine for your blood vessels. Leafy greens like spinach and kale keep vessels flexible. Omega-3 rich fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel help reduce inflammation. Berries and colorful fruits protect your arteries with antioxidants. Nuts and seeds provide healthy fats, but in moderation. Reduce salt and processed foods, since too much sodium raises blood pressure. A Mediterranean-style diet, rich in vegetables, olive oil, and fish, has been shown in studies to dramatically reduce stroke risk. Movement is medicine. Regular physical activity keeps your heart and blood vessels strong, improves circulation, and lowers blood pressure. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week. Walking, swimming, light yoga, or even dancing can all count. The key is consistency, not intensity. And always choose activities that feel safe for your joints and balance. Even 10-minute walks spread throughout the day make a real difference. Two things often overlooked are water and rest. Hydration. Dehydration thickens the blood, making clots more likely. Seniors often don't feel thirsty, so be intentional about drinking water throughout the day. Sleep. Poor sleep raises blood pressure and increases stroke risk. Aim for 7-8 hours of restful sleep, and try to keep a consistent bedtime. Together, hydration and good sleep keep your circulation steady and your brain sharp. Stress raises blood pressure, tightens vessels, and puts your brain at risk. Managing stress isn't just about feeling better emotionally, it's literally protecting your circulation. Try deep breathing, meditation, prayer, or simply listening to calming music. Stay connected with friends and family. Isolation raises both stress and stroke risk. Even laughter can lower stress hormones and help your blood vessels relax. Finally, don't underestimate the value of regular doctor visits. Routine checkups can catch early signs of problems with blood sugar, cholesterol, or blood pressure before they turn into bigger risks. If you have diabetes or high cholesterol, managing those conditions is just as important as blood pressure control. And always review your medications with your doctor to make sure they're working together safely. So here's the big picture. Control your blood pressure. Eat a balanced, brain-healthy diet. Move your body every day. Stay hydrated and prioritize sleep. Manage stress and maintain social connections, and don't skip your medical checkups. Each of these habits, combined with safer showering, works together like pieces of a shield protecting your brain. Now, even with the best prevention, it's vital to know the warning signs. In the next section, I'll share when to see a doctor about shower-related symptoms and the early signs of a stroke you should never ignore. Now that we've talked about prevention, let's get very clear on something that could save your life when you should seek medical help. Because sometimes your body gives you warning signs, and listening to them can make all the difference. If you ever notice any of these symptoms during or right after a shower, it's not something to ignore. Sudden dizziness or lightheadedness, especially if you feel like the room is spinning or you might faint. Severe, sudden headache, the kind that feels different from your usual headaches. Blurred or double vision. Nausea, weakness, or trembling that comes on quickly. Numbness or tingling in your face, hands, or legs. These symptoms may pass quickly, but they're not harmless. They can be a sign your blood pressure dropped too far or spiked too high, and your brain didn't get the blood flow it needed. Now, if you notice any of the classic stroke warning signs, even outside the shower, remember the word fast, ifaf, face drooping. One side of the face doesn't move like the other. Arm weakness, raise both arms, does one drift down? Speech difficulty, is speech slurred, strange, or hard to understand? Time to call emergency services immediately. Even if the symptoms go away after a few minutes, treat it as urgent. That could be a mini stroke, or TIA, and it's your body's warning that a bigger stroke may be on the way. Beyond emergencies, talk to your doctor if you regularly feel lightheaded after hot showers, very fatigued after bathing, fluctuating blood pressure readings at home. These patterns may not be urgent, but they are important. They give your doctor valuable clues about your circulation and help prevent bigger problems down the road. The most important thing to remember is this: don't dismiss unusual symptoms. Seniors often try to tough it out or assume it's just aging, but quick action can mean the difference between a small scare and a life-changing event. In our next section, I'll talk about overcoming fear, because the goal isn't to make you afraid of showering, but to give you confidence and control. I'll share how small daily choices combined with awareness can keep you safe without taking away life's simple pleasures. Now, I want to pause here because after hearing about stroke risks, symptoms, and shower habits, some of you may be feeling uneasy. You might even be asking yourself, should I even be showering the way I always have? Let me reassure you. The goal here is not fear, it's empowerment. Fear is natural when we hear about risks, but fear without action keeps us frozen. Awareness, on the other hand, gives us control. Knowing what raises your risk means you can make small changes that protect your brain and your future. Think about it like driving a car. You don't stop driving because accidents exist. You put on your seatbelt, follow the signs, and stay alert. Showering is no different. With the right habits, it can remain safe, refreshing, and even therapeutic. So instead of avoiding showers, take action with confidence. Adjust the water to a moderate temperature before stepping in. Place a sturdy shower chair or mat if balance is a concern. Take a moment to breathe deeply before and after, letting your circulation adjust. And most importantly, listen to your body. If you feel unusual, stop and rest. These may sound simple, but they are powerful. They transform what could feel like a risk into a routine of self-care. I want you to remember this truth: you are not powerless against aging. The brain, the heart, and the body respond beautifully when we treat them with care. Every safer shower, every healthy choice, every early doctor's visit, they all add up. Instead of worrying about strokes, focus on what you can do today, right now, to lower that risk. That shift in mindset is what keeps seniors independent, healthy, and thriving. So the next time you step into your shower, don't step in with fear. Step in with knowledge, with confidence, and with the quiet pride of someone who is choosing life, health, and strength, one daily habit at a time. Because in the end, it's not just about avoiding illness. It's about living fully, savoring the small moments, and knowing you're doing everything in your power to protect your most precious gift, your brain. In the conclusion, I'll bring everything together and leave you with one final message of encouragement to carry into your daily life. We began today with a surprising truth, that something as ordinary as the way we shower can influence our risk of stroke. At first, that may have sounded frightening. But now you know the science, you know the habits, and most importantly, you know the steps to take control. Here's the key message: strokes are not random. They are influenced by choices, habits, and awareness. By keeping your showers at a safe temperature, moving mindfully, and listening to your body, you reduce your risk. And by pairing this with daily prevention habits, eating well, staying active, managing blood pressure, and seeing your doctor, you are giving your brain the best possible protection. Your health is not about perfection, it's about small, consistent actions that add up. Every safe shower, every glass of water, every walk you take, every moment of calm you choose over stress, these may seem ordinary, but they are the building blocks of a longer, stronger, more independent life. To every senior listening right now, your age does not define your limits, it defines your wisdom. You have lived through decades of change, challenge, and triumph, and you still hold the power to shape your future health. Taking control of habits like showering is not about fear, it's about protecting your freedom, your independence, and your joy in the years to come. So the next time you step into the shower, let it remind you of this truth: you are not fragile, you are resilient, you are capable. And with every safe choice, you are writing the story of a stronger tomorrow, because your brain, your body, and your spirit deserve nothing less than the very best care from you, for you. My mission is to help seniors live not just longer but better. If this video inspired you, please share it with someone you love, because knowledge saves lives. Stay safe, stay strong, and remember, your healthiest years can still be ahead of you.